Hello everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts and Keionna the Craft Therapist 500 Crafty subscriber YouTube hop. I am creating a faux watercolor card using these Tim Holtz products. I'm starting with Winter Watercolor. I will use that pretty frames die from Pink Fresh Studio and then this perspective stamp also from Tim Holtz. I will use a little Wow embossing powder, some vellum, and let's get started on our project. I start by using my favorite watercolor paper, which is B100% cotton watercolor paper. All of the products that I use will be listed in the description box below. I have this particular stamp set, which was a Christmas set that I purchased a couple years ago. And if you've been following me, then you know that I am trying to get more use out of the products that I already have and to use products that have been sitting. So this stamp set, I don't believe I've used it for over a year, and it has this pretty foliage that has both conifer and deciduous leaves, and I thought it would be pretty to take this Pink Fresh Studio aqua ink and stamp around and create a frame using these foliage pieces. Now the colors of Pink Fresh Studio ink that I'm using, the darkest is Tidal Pond, the two medium colors are Mermaid Cove and Aquamarine, and then the very lightest color is going to be Ocean Breeze. And I am going to solid stamp several of the stamps, again just creating a frame so that I have a focal point to put my sentiment in. And I will also do some stamping off, and then so second generation stamping, and also adding multiple inks to some of the leaves just to give a little bit of variation. And by stamping off, it allows me to get that lighter color and to do some overlapping of those foliage pieces. So let's talk a little bit about Keionna and this hop. I believe there are 13 or more of us hopping along. All of the information for this hop will be in the description box below. In order to qualify for one of the 5 prizes, you need to leave a comment and be subscribed to Keionna's channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're new here, I would love for you also to subscribe and follow along if you like the content that you're seeing. Make sure that you leave a comment. For each comment that you leave on each stop in the hop, that is a better opportunity for you to win one of those 5 cards. So make sure that you stop on everyone's channel, leave a comment, like, and if you like their content, please subscribe and support them. This is a special occasion. Keionna is actually probably at 600 or more subscribers by now. This hop has been planned for just a little while, and she is quickly moving up. If you haven't been to her channel, please make sure that that is your next stop if you have not subscribed to her, because she just has the most amazing content. She's a great teacher. She's very, very, very generous and has one of the biggest personalities. We all just absolutely adore her, and once you see her channel, you will understand why she has been so successful in the short while that she's been on YouTube. So head on over there, show her in particular some love, and we just want to thank you for celebrating with us and want to congratulate Keionna on this achievement. I am going to finish off. You can see I just put a piece of paper down, did some stamping, and then pulled the paper away and came back and stamped again. That's that second generation stamping. And you can see how beautiful this particular set is, how extremely versatile it is. It's one of my favorites. I love Tim Holtz especially his Christmas products. I don't know, there's something about the vintageness of his products that just, I always buy. I always buy his Christmas stuff. I just think that it's absolutely fantastic. Not that I don't love his other products, but in particular his Christmas stamps are some of my favorites. And I think that this is just a very whimsical set. I think there's multiple ways that you could do it I should say, besides doing the framing. And so I would highly encourage you, if you want a beautiful stamp set, to pick this one up. I am going to do some ink splattering after I'm finished with this. I believe I come in with the Tidal Pond and the Aquamarine. I will smoosh it onto my Heidi Swap mat, spray some water, and then I will just do some quick splattering. And I'm right here, I'm actually spraying that panel, and I'm using my Ranger heat tool. I didn't want to tape this down because I wanted to make sure that all of that ink around those leaves could spread, and you can see that I have a beautiful watercolored look. So no effort, just stamping and spraying with water. That bee paper takes water very well. You can see that as it dried, it flattened back out. I get a little warping, but not enough that's going to create any issues. Now I wanted to come in and just add a little bit more of that water and spread some of those splatters around and get just a little bit more spread of the ink. And I will dry this off, and we will start working on the other elements. Now that's the vellum from Paper Tray Ink. It's a very heavy vellum. I'm going to cut my panel down to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to bring in some Gina K Design cardstock in an aqua color, and I am going to lay this panel flat to that card base. That is art glitter glue, and that creates a really nice firm, I can get a very good flat panel using that. There's that white, I used Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock for that little frame, and again, that's part of the pretty frames. As I said, I might have mentioned it comes with one frame, but it cuts out multiple pieces. So instead of using them all, I'm just using this white frame. Dot is kind of like a dotted frame. And then I used that, like a label type die, and I cut that out of the same blue cardstock that I used for the card base, and then I'm going to come in with that piece of vellum. Here's my word of warning. I went ahead, and this is the Live Your Dream with Passion. I went ahead and stamped that, and I'm going to heat emboss it onto that vellum. And I will line up those little points with those lines on my mat to get it straight. And I will use my embossing tool or my debossing tool to make sure that I don't get any stray embossing powder onto my panel. And I will heat set this. Now, the one thing that I did not realize is that the points on that label, do you see those points? They go in a specific spot. I just thought for some reason that they were both centered and you could use this particular piece anyway. That is not true. So I'm going to strategically place some glue, and then I'm going to realize that this doesn't work. And I thought, well, maybe it's my frame, maybe that's the problem. But no, that wasn't the issue. The issue was that I embossed it upside down. There is one way that it goes and it fits. So I will go over to my Vagabond and cut another one of those label vellum pieces out, and I will make sure I have it in the right direction, and then we will do that heat embossing again. So lesson learned, this particular label goes in only one direction, and make sure that you have it the right way, and then it will work for you. So I will fiddle with this a little bit and come back in, do my heat embossing, and we will be all good. I do get a little bit of warping with this. I do heat up my heat tool for about 30 seconds before I bring it to my paper, and I do start underneath when I do the heat embossing. So there is a tiny bit of warpage on this, but the nice thing about this particular vellum is that with that art glitter glue, I can still glue in some spots outside of the sentiment, and it will not show. So I will do that later on. I'll add just a little bit to kind of where the points are and where the foliage is, and it's hidden. This is an old Martha Stewart punch. I don't even think they make it anymore. Keionna loves purple and bling and butterflies, and so a nod to Keionna, I took the white Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and I punched some of those butterflies out from that, as well as the matching Gina K design paper. I will come in with the Wow embossing powder and emboss a couple of those butterflies, and then I will glue them down to my panel, and that will be my card today. So I just want to thank you so much for hopping along with us, for supporting Keionna and her endeavors. And I would ask again, if you are not a subscriber and you liked what you saw, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and you'll receive notifications when I upload a video. Make sure that you leave a comment that you like so that you can be entered into that giveaway. And congratulations, Keionna. I know you're going to go far. You have just been a cheerleader for so many people, and I know that so many of us in the Krafty community absolutely adore you. And I thank you so much for inviting me along to celebrate this milestone with you. I hope that you all have a fantastic day. I will show you a close-up of the card, and then I will share some additional videos that might be of interest to you. Make sure that you look in the description box for the next person in the hop along, support them, and have a fabulous day. Thank you.